What's your name?
Jeff Kellum.
Okay. How can people prevent thieves from stealing their holidays?
Well, the holidays are really no different than any other time as far as securing your stuff. Always make sure you have everything locked up. Lock your car, lock your door to your room. If you live in an apartment with multiple people, make sure your room is locked. And make sure you lock the door when you come in and lock the door when you go out. Oftentimes people think they're the first one out, and they're the last, and they go leave everything unlocked as they leave the apartment. So, especially if you live in an apartment with other people, you wouldn't want to leave anything that you bought for Christmas or anything. Don't leave them in the common areas. Secure them in your room, and secure them behind a locked door, and a locked door to your room, and a locked door to your apartment.
Okay. Now, what motivates thieves to steal around this time?
Usually, you'll see during the holidays or just before, and you say holidays, people think of usually from Thanksgiving till Christmas time. But you'll normally see the burglaries. Like with this time last year, we already had 15 or 20 in the county. In fact, my house was broken into like the first or second week of November of last year. So they start stealing really before the holidays, and a lot of them just want to make. That's the way they're trying to make money before the holidays. They give the gifts, the things that they steal out of your house. Sometimes they'll give away as gifts. What motivates people to do that? I don't know. People like to say, well, it's hard times, but you usually don't see people that are struggling at their jobs aren't usually the ones that are stealing. It's usually people that don't work. And that was the case with the burglary rash we had last year. 35 to 40 homes were broken into before the holidays in this county and Calhoun County and the city of Oxford.
Okay, now about holiday identity theft. Now, most of the time during this time, identities have been stolen around this time. How can that be prevented?
Well, if you're purchasing things online, you always want to use those services that secure your identification. You need to know the company that you're dealing with. If you haven't had dealing with that company before, I would make sure you keep your online purchases with the companies that are your national companies. Cabela's is a big one this time of year, Sears and Roebuck. Those companies that already have things in place to protect your identity. Purchasing things online from people you don't know is really never a good idea. And you certainly want to have those software in place when you do those purchases. If you keep hard receipts, if you keep the receipts that have your personal numbers and identity, things that can identify you with your credits, your credit cards and your bank accounts, you need to keep those in a safe place. If you throw them away, you need to make sure you shred them or burn them.
Okay, now, do you have any advice on how people in Oxford, citizens of Oxford, can prevent holiday thefts? Like prevent it generally, not only at Christmas but all year long.
When you're out shopping, let's say, other than the things that we've already talked about that you should do all the time. When you're shopping, when you leave things in your car that people can see, if you leave them in the seat of your car, you leave them on the front, or you leave them in a shopping cart and walk off, which happens a lot. The majority of things we see from stores like Belk and Walmart, people will steal purses. People will shop and have a lot of things in their cart, and they'll walk away to get something and come back and their purse is gone. That's a common thing. You keep those things with you, and keep them secure. There are a lot of people moving around in the stores. As the number of people increase in the stores, in the retail stores, the more opportunity you have for something to be taken. If you put things in your car and go to another store, put them in the trunk. Don't put them out where people can see them. And always, again, lock your car. And park in places that are fully lit, especially at night.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.